Good morning and welcome to BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today we welcome back Ian Matheson with his weekly roundup of the industry's top stories. How are you doing, Ian? How was your weekend?
That was not bad actually, Natalie, and I hope yours was too. I spent a lot of it doing a bit of personal financial planning, end of the tax year and all that. Got me thinking about the T word, Donald's favourite word in the dictionary, the tariffs word. Although I read the Economist editor seems to disagree. She wrote that Mr. Trump risks destroying the trade system on which post-war prosperity has been built. And I think a lot of investors and consumers and companies seem to agree with her. And the stock markets last week were certainly flashing red. And again, going back to my own personal experience, that's something I have first-hand experience of. Having reviewed the performance of my pension fund over the weekend, it looks like retirement is some way off.
I see. Well, you've been working for BIFA now for around 18 years, so you'll stick around for a bit longer, won't you?
If BIFA still wants me, that's fine by me. Yeah. Anyway, let's crack on with the news. A consortium of MSC's Terminal Investment Limited arm and US investment fund BlackRock is to acquire an 80% stake in 43 ports from Hong Kong's CK Hutchison. The $22.8 billion deal includes Felixstowe, Harwich, and Thamesport, so pertinent to the work of your members. And it also includes ports and terminals in 23 countries worldwide. And I understand the deal is expected to be signed and concluded by April the 2nd.
I see. One for us to keep an eye on, obviously, on this news story. But in the meantime, we do have a website article for our members, don't we, for them to check out?
That's right, yeah, yeah. And speaking of Thamesport, I see that a shipping line called A to B Online Container has added a fifth weekly sailing on its service between the port and Moerdijk in the Netherlands. And meanwhile, a company called Via Sea Shipping has relaunched its short sea container service between Thamesport, Northern Europe, and the Baltic. And that calls at Thamesport every Saturday, I understand.
Okay, and that story should be of interest to any BIFA members who, have an interest in European short sea crossings. That's obviously something to be aware of and to keep an eye on.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. And talking of sort of short sea services, reports suggest that DFDS is keen to restart a freight and passenger service from Rosyth in Scotland to Dunkirk in France later this year. Of course, a new direct sailing would increase freight connectivity and expand route options for goods moving to and from mainland Europe. Although, from what I have read, there would be a requirement for subsidies from the Scottish government.
I see. And sounds like very good news for our BIFA members there. But I understand that would be
Oh,
quite a trek for them if they were to make that journey.
yeah, I think it's about 20 hours, but I like your pun. Very good. Um, French shipping magnate Rodolphe Sade, he met Donald Trump at the White House last week and pledged to invest $20 billion in the US over the next 4 years. The Wall Street Journal reported that CMA CGM, which he's the head of, intends to triple the size of the container line's US flagged fleet, upgrade its US port facilities, and create a Chicago air freight hub, among other moves, which is very interesting.
And this commitment comes at a time when Trump is also focusing on the future of shipbuilding in America as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he wants. Well, he's allegedly he wants to get that going again, and I think it's all part and parcel of his efforts to sort of attack China, I guess, for want of a better phrase. But changing the subject completely, over in our air cargo, Transport Intelligence's latest air freight tracker shows that the start of this year has proven to be a very complex landscape for the global air freight industry. Strong demand, particularly across routes from Asia and Europe, continues to be accelerated by the growth of e-commerce and high-value shipments. But the momentum, they say, coexists with significant challenges that are tightening market conditions. They include, according to TI, the capacity constraints, which have exacerbated by delayed fleet expansions, as well as airlines prioritising passenger operations. Supply chain disruptions and evolving trade policies are injecting uncertainty into planning, which is obviously affecting BIFA members. Geopolitical tensions, of course, US tariff adjustments, and the elimination of the de minimis threshold of, apparently are further sort of reshaping buying strategies, prompting retailers to rethink sourcing and nearshoring efforts. And again, that will impact on the activities of your members.
Ian, that sounds like a report we're going to have to make our members more aware of, so we'll pop a link in the description for that one. Thanks again for another update, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely, and hopefully by then I'll have got us a couple of tickets to go and see Crystal Palace play Fulham.
Fingers crossed, Ian. Thank you again. As always, we'll make sure all the links that Ian has run us through today are available in the description below. That's all for today's episode of BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information.